Well, it's 3 hours before kick-off, but there's very much a big game feel about this one. Some of the guests have just arrived for the TV punditry duties. Alan Shearer, David Ginola, Nicky Butt, all here, all ready to give an opinion on this fixture, which has been such a thrilling one down the years. I mean, you look at that 5-0, we'll still talk about it now. We'd love to see Newcastle get something like that on the board today, but there's been many other victories against Manchester United, particularly here. Newcastle not so good at Old Trafford until only recently, when they won that Premier League game back in December at the end of the year, and Newcastle now going to this one looking to do their first ever double over Manchester United in the Premier League. The big news going into the game is obviously Eddie Howe won't be present today, still in hospital, as we were told yesterday in a statement from Newcastle. No updates on that yet, but hopefully it's a case of get well soon, Eddie. Newcastle do the job on the pitch on the day. That will certainly lift his spirits, and hopefully Newcastle can pick up the 3 points here today against Manchester United. Well, an emphatic win for Newcastle United in the end against Manchester United. Was it ever really in doubt? I think Newcastle started the game a little bit cautiously in some ways, but once they went 1-0 up, I could see more goals for the Black and Whites in this one. Sandro Tonali firing home to put Newcastle 1-0 up after a great assist from Alexander Isak. Man United did get back into it before the break, and I thought that was very much a consequence of Newcastle not taking their chances. Isak could have had another one. Dan Burn headed over, but I think really for Newcastle, that was them not being ruthless after going 1-0 up. But second half, can't complain at all. Harvey Barnes getting a couple of goals. The first one, a tap in. The second one, he robs Man United possession. He skips on from 4 yards and he slams home to make it 3-1. And Man United, to be fair, they were all over the place defensively. I don't want to be unkind to Man United, but that is one of the worst Man United teams I've seen down the years. And another gift from the goalkeeper for Bruno to make it 4-1 after Joe Linton's knockdown. So 4-1 could have been a lot more, but look, you more than take that. I say Man United weren't very good. You've got to be fair to Newcastle as well. You can only beat what's put in front of you, and these wins are never as easy as they look. There's a lot of hard work goes into that, and the players certainly seem to enjoy that win at the end. It's a double over Man United, first time that's ever happened in the Premier League, first time it's happened in 94 years. Newcastle move up to 4th place. Great result for them at Chelsea today. Ipswich holding the Blues to a 2-2 draw. So Newcastle know if they win the game in hand against Crystal Palace in midweek, again, won't be easy. But if they win that game, they'll go up to 3rd place. They'll go ahead of Nottingham Forest, who've had an incredible season. So Newcastle in a great place at the moment. They're exactly where they want to be in the run-in, that battle for Champions League place. And hopefully, if they can see off Crystal Palace in midweek, sets them up perfectly for a clash with their rivals for the top 4 in Aston Villa at the weekend. Big one at Villa Park. They're all big now at this stage, but look, Newcastle couldn't have done anything more today. They did everything that was asked of them. 4-1 win here. It's not quite the 5-0 from back in 96, but look, Newcastle fans will certainly take it. Great win, great afternoon, great atmosphere, and Newcastle now going great guns to get into that top 5. Could even finish the season on a real flourish and get 3rd. Let's see what happens.